In this session, I'm going to talk about Azure Functions and using a queue storage. So Azure Queue Storage is a service to store large numbers of messages that can be accessed via HTTP or HTTPS. The maximum size of a queue message is 64 KB, and there is no limit on the number of messages that can be stored within a queue. A queue always works as a first in, first out. That means the first message that goes in will be the first message that goes out. So here we have to create a storage account. In Azure, a queue lives within a storage account. So we create a storage account first, and then we create a queue. Then we place a message in a queue, and then we read the message from the queue. So I'm going to show all this using Azure Functions. I've installed this Visual Studio Code extension called Azurite, and this will help me run a cross-platform emulator for Azure queues and storage. So as you can see here, I'm going to run this npm install -g. G stands for global Azurite. So after running this command, this is what I have on my screen. So this is my terminal. As you can see, I ran this npm install -g Azurite, and I have the Azurite blob and queue emulators on my local Mac box. So you can start Azurite by running the command Azurite start, and this will show you where your blob and queue service is running. And if you want to stop Azurite, you can issue a Control-C command, and then you're back onto the command line terminal. So I'm going to show you how to connect to a Azurite instance. So start Azurite by saying Azurite start, and once Azurite is started, go to your Azure Storage Explorer, click on the connect icon, and select attach to local emulator, the last option. Click next, select type here my emulator, and click next, and make sure you note down all this. Just copy this, click on connect, and now you can see I have blob and queues connected here. So if I click on the blob here, I will see a request on the command line. See, I see a request here, and also for queues I see a request here. Thank you. So let's create a Azure function with a queue trigger. So I have my Azurite service running here, which is an emulator for creating queues. I have already shown you how to set up this emulator in your local Azure Storage Explorer. Now let's go ahead and create a project. So I'm here. I'm opening the Visual Studio Code, and once I have Visual Studio Code running, I'm gonna click on this Azure icon here, and I'm gonna say create new project. I need to select a folder, so I'm gonna select a folder called Queue Trigger, which is empty, and I'm gonna select C#. I'm gonna select Queue Trigger, and the name of the function would be order function, and the company would be delivery.food, for example. And I'm going to use this. For the queue name, I would say order queue. So I will just say order queue. I'm going to skip this. So it's creating a new project now. Now I have orders function, and I have an order queue here, and I have this Azure Web Job Storage connection here. We have to make sure that this points to our local emulator. So what I do is I go to the files here, and I go to the local settings.json, and I have my connection here, Azure Web Job Storage. I'm going to make this set to local emulator. So as you can see, I have set this to use development storage equals to true, and this will ensure that our simulator is getting hit. So I'm going back to the orders function now here, and as you can see here I have let me just grab this. Yeah, so I have a queue item which is of type string, and once this starts, I would see a message called as queue trigger function processed with the queue item. I would just remove this and make it processed item, my queue item. So before I do this, before I run this, I need to create a queue. So let us create a queue called order queue using the emulator. I'm going to copy this. I'm going back to the emulator here. I'm going to right click on this, create queue. I'm going to paste this here, so I'll have a queue called order queue. Now there is nothing in the queue, it's empty. So I'm going to add a new item. I'm going to say this is my first order. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to leave all this to default. I'm going to say OK. Now I have this message called as this is my first order, and I have this ID and all. Now when I run this Azure function, it would go and read the queue and then print out this message called C# processed item queue item. So let's see what happens. I'm going to run this. So I have this function called queue trigger. It has started right now. And I already see this here, C# process item, this is my first order. And if I go back and refresh the queue, it would go away. So if I do a refresh here, it's gone. So let's add another one because it started here. So I'm going to add another message. This is my second order. And if I say OK, the moment I said OK, it got processed, and if I do a refresh here, the item will not be there anymore. It's gone. So this is how we can use Azure Functions queue trigger to run our jobs inside a queue. In the real world, you would have an object called order instead of the string queue item. You would have an object called order. So let's create an order object. So let's create a new file. Let's call it order.cs, and let's put a namespace to it. Let's use the same namespace here. I'm going to use using system. I'm going to add the namespace, and I'm going to create a class called order, public class order, and it will have two attributes. So public string order ID, and then another one called a datetime, public datetime. Let's call it created on. Okay, so I have an order ID, and I have another datetime field called created on. That forms my order. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to put order here. So basically I'm expecting an order to be passed into the queue. So I'm going to make this order. So I'm going to replace this with the details of the order. So I'm going to make it quick here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this here. So now I have a log.argument for order. So order has an order ID and a created on. So let's see how to process this. So what I'll do is I'm going to place an item in the queue before I run this function. I'm going to place an item in the queue and see how it works. So I'm going to place an order. So here what I'll do is it's a JSON object. So I'm going to create an order ID colon 1 2 3, and date would be created on colon it will be like 2020 0202. That's the it's the year, month and date format. I'm going to copy this. Now this is my first order, so I have this order here. I have not started the function, so it's not going to process the orders. So if you do a refresh, it will be still there. I'm going to add another order which is 1 2 3 4 1 2 4, and which will be of a different date, and I'm going to add another order here, 1 2 5, and it will be of the 5th. So you see I have 3 orders here, 1 2 3 1 2 4 and 1 2 5, and if you look at the insertion time here, there is a difference of about 10 seconds, and the first item is 1 2 3, the second one is 1 2 4, and third one is 1 2 5. So this is a sequence here. So I just want to see whether this would come up in a similar sequence, in a similar order when we run the Azure function. So let's go ahead and run the Azure function and see what happens. So I'm going to say run start debugging. Okay, now if you see here, the orders have been processed here, and it has come in the same sequence in which I have inserted. So I've inserted 1 2 3 first, and 1 2 3 showed up first, and then 1 2 4 and 1 2 5. So I can do another. Now if I do a refresh here, all this will go away. Before that, I'm going to copy this. So if I do a refresh here, all this will go away. Yeah. So I'm going to add another message here, last one. Let's call it 1 2 6, then make it 6 here. Now if you say okay, I would already see it here. It's already gone from the queue. Yeah. So that confirms that a queue processes items in the first order sequence. So whichever comes first is processed first, and whichever item comes last is processed last.